We are now going to speak about hiring promoters. What is a promoter? It's someone that absolutely believes in your core values and your company culture, but is someone who's also wildly productive. So right now in the world, we're facing a massive labor shortage. There's studies being done all over the place. Part of it has to do with the pandemic, but a big part of it has to do with the aging population and the fact that the younger generation is actually spending a lot more time in school and living at their parents. And you probably have some of these younger people at your home that you're thinking, are they ever going to leave? So they're taking a lot longer to get to the labor market. And because of that, we're getting this gap. And there's literally hundreds of thousands of people missing in different countries. And so you're very much stuck right now when you want to hire good people. What is the number one way to get this accomplished? It's absolutely by having a very clear hiring process and structure. And I always get the same question, Shawn, I don't have time to do this hiring process. And then, what do we say? Well, so you have time to hire the wrong person, which is going to cost you multiples of their salary to replace them eventually. You have time to waste all that money, but you don't have time to you don't have the time to build a very robust process that makes a lot of sense for your business. So stop with the excuses and get to it. What are the key components of a very strong hiring process? The first thing you need to do is build a scorecard. You want to build a scorecard that has your company values, that has the why of the role, why this role exists. And very specifically, this came from another amazing EO member, Robert Glazer. A lot of you know him. He taught us what success looks like. So those are actually metrics over 6 months and 12 months where you're weaving a story. You're actually taking the time to tell that future employee, here's what success looks like for you. So if you're talking about a VP operations, for example, you could say things like, you have implemented a barcoding and new ERP system. You have hired and restructured the entire operations department. You have gone to the West Coast and looked for a new distribution center for the company. You have. So you're talking in the future, they've already accomplished it. And you're giving that person a very clear vision on what they need to accomplish in this role. I'm telling you, the 6 month and 12 month what success looks like is a game changer. You have to implement this. Then you want to look at top 5 responsibilities and you want to build the competencies for the job. These should be turned into a job description. Okay, so once you have your scorecard, it's now a job description that's very attractive. You also want to talk about the company a little bit in there, and you want to do things in that job description that attract the right candidates, and you want to put things in there that are also completely rejecting the wrong type of candidates. Again, coming back to this example of a VP operations, the first sentence that we put in the job descriptions for that actual role was passion for lean methodology. I get asked the question, what if the person doesn't know what lean is? Well, obviously they can't work at our organization if they don't understand what lean is. It's the first thing we're putting on the job description. So it's things like that that are going to get you to the right candidates. Then your hiring process has to be very clear. You as the hiring manager have the first interview. That's an interview that comes from top grading or from the WHO methodology. It's actually called the WHO interview, where you go through all of their key accomplishments in their previous roles, really talk about who they are as an individual, their schooling, what they're trying to accomplish as an individual in a company. But then you want to go into team interviews. You need to have 4 other people interviewing the candidate. So 2 people for 30 minutes and 2 people for another 30 minutes. Why? You're going to ask, do I have to have 5 people interviewing the candidates? How else are you going to safeguard and protect your culture? You need to have A players meeting candidates to ensure that they are a values and a culture fit, because there's nothing more important. Aptitude, skills can be taught. The right attitude cannot be taught. The person has to have the right attitude from the beginning. So make sure that you're spending a lot of time on that. So once you've done those team interviews, you want to really make sure that you get a feedback session, make sure everybody's on board with it, and then you can make your decision on the right candidate. And one more thing to remember in there is to do some testing. You should always be doing specific testing for a role to make sure that they're actually good at what they do. The number of people that have said that they're good at something, and when you test them, they're actually very weak at it, is incredible. So you got to be careful with that. Make sure you have this very robust hiring process. It will take you a little more time. It can be done quickly, but I guarantee you that the right candidates will be coming to your business because they will see how structured and how clear and well your process is made, and they want to work for a company like that.